Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Breathwork with Rajyogi. This is going to be a weekly session or weekly program where we will begin very simply with belly breathing. Many people are familiar with belly breathing, but then they may not be familiar with the uh, finer points of belly breathing. So- Somebody's calling me on. I won't take the call. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the finer points of belly breathing. Belly breathing, as some of you may be aware, is how nature made or how nature programmed us to breathe. And why do I say this? If you look at a newborn baby, when the baby is lying in bed, you will notice that the baby's belly moves up and down. The baby is not doing it, but it's happening. This happening is the key. So very often when people want to do belly breathing, it's exactly what they should not do. When they start doing belly breathing, they start forcing the movement, which is not the same thing as the belly breathing happening. Now, why do I say belly breathing should happen and why is that important? I'm sure many of you here are also regular yogis or you practice yoga, and many of you also meditate. Am I right? Many of you also meditate. What happens when we meditate? What happens when we do, or for example, practice certain hobbies and so on? The body comes into a state of ease. This coming into a state of ease is very critical. When we are in that state of ease, something begins to change internally. I'm giving you this background so that you understand why we need to dive into belly breathing, and I'll show you how to go about it. The body has what is called the autonomic nervous system. I've explained this in my earlier videos as well. Some of you may have watched my belly breathing videos, which I've posted on YouTube. But just in case you've not, I'll very briefly touch upon this. The body has a thing called autonomic nervous system, which has two parts. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other is the parasympathetic nervous system. When we are stressed, when we are under tension, when we are in any way under threat, it is the sympathetic nervous system that works. Either a sympathetic nervous system will work or the parasympathetic nervous system will work. Both cannot work simultaneously. Sympathetic nervous system helps us to protect ourselves, take care of ourselves from any external danger, risk, threat, etc. But it's the parasympathetic nervous system where the body actually begins to heal itself and prepare itself for whatever is needed for life to continue, wellness to continue, and so on. So it's the healing mechanism that works better in the parasympathetic nervous system. However, because of stress and then because of habit, we lose it. We almost forget how to do or how belly breathing should happen or how we should be at ease. And once this stress mechanism and the sympathetic nervous system becomes established in the body, it's very, very hard to change it. You know, I'm sure many of you are aware, changing even the smallest of habits is such a difficult thing. Have you noticed this? Yeah. Changing even the smallest of habits is so difficult. Breathing is something that is happening constantly. So when we start breathing wrong for any reason, it's very, very difficult to change it. If if you see the connection that breath is what brings life. Life begins with the first breath, it
Sir,
ends
can't
with the
hear
last.
you.
You can't hear me. Oh my God. Is that only one person who can't
No,
hear
no,
me?
no. It just went for some time and it came back now.
Okay. All right. Thank God. All right. So maybe because of some internet connection or something. If you missed some part of it, I'll repeat that. So either the sympathetic or the parasympathetic, that is the point I was trying to make on one of these work. And when we get into a habit, it's very difficult to change any habit. Breathing is one thing which is such an instinctive thing that once a wrong breathing technique starts working in a system, it's next to impossible to change it unless you do it with conscious effort. But this conscious effort, it's not as if 10 minutes of conscious effort or 15 minutes of conscious effort is enough. It requires more. So, to move into the mechanism where you are belly breathing naturally, that is key. We will discuss other aspects of belly breathing later, but let me first show you so that even as we talk, you can begin to do a little bit of belly breathing as we do the rest of our session. Let me begin by first lying down on my back and I will show you how. I trust you all have a yoga mat or something similar available near you. So please take it out and lie down just as I am. I hope you can see me clearly. My head is not on a pillow or any cushion, it's flat. And my legs are the heels are drawn up and the knees point to the ceiling. Can you do it? Can you all lie down? I'll give you a minute. Lie down like this. So I trust everyone is on their back with their heels pulled in and their knees pointing to the ceiling. Hold this position for a while, half a minute, 1 minute, and you will notice as if your body is automatically moving into a more relaxed state. Simultaneously, if you like, you may put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. You will see that the hand on the belly moves up and down with your breath, but the other one on the chest is stationary, no movement there. You're not doing it, it's happening. The key is it's happening. Notice now as you hold this posture, notice why your body is in this state where automatically belly breathing happens. I'll sit down. You understood this part, but you can hold that posture for a while. I'll sit down so I can explain and talk to you a little better. Yeah. So if you hold this posture for a minute, 2 minutes, automatically belly breathing will start. Tell me if that is your experience. Now, notice it. Observe how your body is. Observe why this belly breathing is happening without your doing it. This is what you need to replicate. For today's session, every time you come back, for example, to a sitting posture or position, allow this same thing to happen to continue. Notice notice how you're feeling. Yeah, Shanmuga Suntaramji is saying, yes, belly breathing is happening normally. Excellent. Very good. And anybody else said anything? Chat. Namaste, Ratiji. No sound. Restarting phone. I hope your phone has started. OnePlus 5. Anyway, yeah. So belly breathing is happening at rest. Sindhuji, yes, go on. Tell me. I think that thumbs up means belly breathing is happening. Very good. Excellent. Anybody else? So notice now, key is observe how your body is. Let your body, let your mind understand the state in which this is happening naturally. And then after a few minutes, when you sit down, let that continue. As you allow this to continue, every time your attention goes to your breath, make sure this belly breathing state is occurring, it's happening. We will talk a little more about breath and belly breathing as we go, but this awareness is important. Allow this to happen over and over and over again. Every time your attention goes, allow this to happen. Sindhuji, yeah, you've raised your hand. Go ahead if you have a question. Sindhu, I'm waiting, Sindhu. No? Well, anyway, so sorry by mistake. Okay, okay, Sindhu, no problem. All right. So this is your belly breathing and it's happening to you. Now, as you sit, get into the state, allow this belly breathing to happen. We will continue talking, we'll continue chatting. If you have any questions, you're free to ask as well. Remember, your body is 70% water, 70% liquid. If the body is 70% liquid, you know, in Hindi we have a saying, Beheta Pani Nirmala, which means if water becomes stagnant, it tends to spoil, it tends to go bad. Similarly, in the body, if the liquids in the body are not able to flow constantly with ease, something will start going wrong. So what are these systems? One is, of course, the cardiovascular system, where blood flows in the body from top to bottom every minute so many times and so on. And you have a pump for the blood called the heart. So your heart is constantly pumping all this blood throughout the body, and it's keeping the body functioning, or this particular system functioning well. But what about the other systems? Can anybody tell me what some of the other systems are? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Quickly. Just name a few other systems.
Nervous system,
Yeah, sorry, nervous system. Okay, okay. Anything else?
reproductive
Digestive
system,
system.
Reproductive
endocrine
system,
system,
endocrine system.
endocrine,
Yes.
musculoskeletal system,
Okay. Respiratory, somebody said. Yes, very good.
lymphatic, lymphatic.
Yes, the immune system is your lymphatic system. Very, very important as well. So all these different systems have liquids in them. Not all of them, like the musculoskeletal system does not have liquids really in the same way that the lymphatic system or the cardiovascular system or even even the uh, digestive system, reproductive system may have. However, movement of these liquids through the systems, that is important. So for your heart, for your blood, you have the heart. But where is the pump for the other systems? Is there any other pump for the other systems? Can you tell me? That is your belly. Belly is probably the single most important pump for all your other systems. There is a very powerful muscle just below the lungs. It's called the diaphragm. As the diaphragm eases, relaxes, and moves up, goes out and moves up, it not only activates the lungs or makes the lungs breathe in, breathe out, it also gives momentum or a pumping action to other systems. Now, if your breathing is shallow, come on, I want everybody just take a minute and try to observe how deep your breath is going. Just observe how deep your breath is going. And then, when you like, share. Tell me how deep your breath is going. Yes, Shamaji?
Uh, I can feel it going down up to the Mooladhar.
Excellent. She can feel her breath go down to the Mooladhar. Wonderful. Anybody else? Feel the breath till the Mooladhar?
To navel region.
Up to the navel region. Who said that? Raviji. Is that right? Up to the
Srilata.
navel region. Srilata. Okay. So your name here shows as Ravi. Doesn't matter. Okay. So belly button area, more or less, or the navel area. Anyone else?
So up to the diaphragm area, sir.
Up to the diaphragm, which means up just about below the ribs, I guess, more or
Ji,
less.
ji, ji.
Okay, Alokji, very good. Anyone
Yeah.
else?
Down to the navel for me.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Down to the navel section for
Down
me.
to the navel? Yeah, so that's about
Yes.
the belly button area, more or less. Okay, fine.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. That's the one.
Anybody else? Yeah. Anyone else?
Till
You know,
lower abdomen.
sorry,
Till lower abdomen.
till the lower abdomen, that means it would be more or less a little below the belly button. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good, Shubhraji, very good. But your breath should actually be able to go all the way down to the Mooladhara. And if it does that, even better. The reason is, after we have understood and practiced belly breathing for a while, the next thing that I'm going to teach you is going to be the Hanuman master breath, about which I'll explain a little later. But for the moment, let's bring our attention to belly breathing. So now all these various systems that are working in the body, if we ensure that we do not create blockages, how do we create blockages? For example, if there is stress in the body, any kind of stress in the body or the mind will impact your breath. You must have noticed, for example, when you are angry or when you are upset or when you are in any way in a unpleasant state of emotion, you will feel a certain tightness specifically in the belly button area or in the belly area. Have you noticed? Any kind of anger, any kind of negative emotion, you feel it right in that belly area. Yes or no? You feel a little cramping, you feel a little tightening over there. Is that right? Have you noticed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is it? What is happening when this is occurring? You are, in a sense, clamping on the whole, on all the systems, in a sense. Do a very simple thing. Take both your hands like this and bring them to your neck. And with the thumbs, just press gently. Just a gentle press. Very gentle press. And try to see the difference in your breath. Just a very gentle press. Then a little more. And see how your breath is affected. Right? Don't do too much. We don't want to hurt ourselves. This is only
It's
to...
becoming a little heavy.
It's become a little heavy. Yeah. So your breath is becoming difficult. It's becoming a little heavier. Similarly, if you are allowing this kind of stress, this kind of clamping to happen in your belly area, because all your systems are running throughout this, your major critical organs are located in this area, other than the lung and heart, which are behind the rib cage. Others, the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys, etc., gallbladder, etc. They're all located in that area. And if the systems that are bringing different things into these organs, if they do not flow well, or if the systems that are taking out toxins or that which needs to be taken out, if they are not functioning well, then that means some of these organs will start suffering in some way or the other. If you do not wish that your systems, that your organs suffer because of this, just make sure that the flows are unimpeded, that the flows are easy, natural. See, everyone knows body is 70% water. Everybody knows it's not something new, approximately 70% water. And that 70% water is obviously not on the surface of the body, it's somewhere inside. It's also not so much in our limbs other than the blood. It's somewhere largely in the main trunk of the body. And these movements that need to happen, if we conduct ourselves in ways that impacts, affects, or in any way impedes the movement or movements of these systems, then something or the other will start responding in a negative way, in the sense because they are not getting what they need, or they are not being cleansed as they should be cleansed. So this is what will create all kinds of imbalances in the system. Simply by learning to breathe well, allowing this state of ease. Please write this word EASE. Make it, print a big word and stick it all over your house if you like, so that you are constantly reminded to be at ease. We have a thing called the ego. Ego, mind, emotion. They work together. Ego, mind, emotion. And they love to create a situation where any ease disappears. They cannot stand ease. Ego, mind, emotion. Somehow they cannot stand ease. So you will notice in meditation, when your mind, the role of the mind, the drama of the mind is reduced, you come to a state of ease. As long as your mind is working and working and doing all its drama, you will not find ease. And if you do not find ease, remember, mind is affected by emotions, and emotions are affected by mind. And the ringmaster is the ego. So what is this sense of ego? Ego is basically just your sense of identity. But मजे की चीज देखिए, it is your sense of identity, but it is your sense of identity which is limiting you. It is not a sense of identity which is letting you experience the real you. It is your sense of identity which is limiting you to the small I, the limited I, which at some point is about the body and whatever is going on in this body and some close relatives, family, etc. So we limit this. But as the sense of I begins to change, as the sense of ego begins to change, even when your awareness reaches the higher state, you say, I am God. If your awareness reaches that state, you say, I am God. Isn't that an egotistic statement? It may sound like an egotistic statement, but it's not, because this is not the normal ego, the limited ego, which is saying this. It is that awareness of me being everywhere, including everything, excluding nothing. So that is the sense of oneness which comes with the higher, with the when the awareness of a higher self is active or taken over, which means the role of the ego as we know it has become next to nil, but it's still I. So in a sense, as your mind begins to quieten down, the role of this small ego, if I can use that term, the role of this ego is reduced. And that is why your mind is able to calm down, and then similarly the emotions as well. That's when a certain level of ease comes. And look at the word disease, lack of ease, disease. So when there is not enough ease in the body, disease happens. And this is such a simple thing. Learn, allow your systems to be at ease. Now, to bring your systems to a state of ease, if you understand that your mind is usually working against you, usually, if you want to give it a percentage, I would say probably 99% of the time. It's your mind. It's my mind. It's working against me. What do I do? Tell me. If my mind is working against me, what can I do? If my mind is working against me, my breathing is affected, there is a lot of strain, stress, tension in my system, and disease begins to grow, what should I do? Tell me. बताइए कोई?
We should bring it back to ease. Try to bring
How?
it back to ease.
Yes, how?
So
Very
the
good,
only
Karthik ji,
way
but
to
how?
control mind is to control your breath. The moment you stop breathing, you can't think. So the key point is
Stop
the
breathing.
breathing.
Stop breathing.
No, I said if you stop breathing, you can't think. That means if you want to control your monkey mind, you need to know the art of controlling your breath. So get it at ease. Start breathing. Start slowing down.
Yes. Start watching your breath.
Yeah.
Bring your attention to your breath. Move your attention away from all those funny things that the mind plays with. Where does the mind go normally? It goes either into the future or into the past. Breath happens in the present moment. Every single breath that is happening to you is happening now. But your mind can jump into the future, it can jump into the past and do its various kinds of speculations and drama and so on and so forth. It will stir up emotions. Emotions will create their own dynamics that will start affecting you in different ways. Sudden flow of certain kinds of thoughts, which usually are painful to us. Why? Is there anybody in this world who has not had it tough, who's not had to go through some difficult situations, who has not been treated badly by life or by people or by whatever? Is there anyone? If you can show me one such person, I'll 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 change my ways. Is there anyone who has not had it tough in some way? Everyone has had it tough. You are not an exception. I am not an exception. It
Can I
happened
say
in the
something?
past.
Right, sir.
Of
Rajesh,
course.
can I say something?
Of
Rajesh
course,
ji.
of course.
The struggle starts when you are in the womb of the mother. There
Okay.
the struggle starts. And from coming out also the struggle. So life has definitely some struggle.
Okay, there we go. Life has definitely some struggle. And if it's happened in the past, why should I lose my present, which is the moment of power? This is the moment where I can do something, where I can create something, where I can make some creative effort to create a life of my dreams, of, fulfill myself in whatever ways. This is the moment. So by wasting this present moment, worrying about what may happen in the future or about what had happened in the past, I'm wasting it. Now, as you bring your attention to your breath and as you allow belly breathing to happen, you are bringing a certain level of ease into your body, and because they are connected, if your body is somewhat at ease, your mind will also be at ease. And then if you move your attention to your breath, the games of the mind will settle down. They will not affect you, they will not impact you as they might have otherwise done. Please bring your attention to your belly. Please bring your attention to your breath and notice what is happening. Is it still belly breathing, or have you lost it? Take a minute, take 2 minutes.
It is still belly breathing.
You're still belly breathing, Shubhraji? Excellent.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. I was, well, you don't know, but let me tell you, there was a time when I was in China and I was teaching in China. So when a student in class would answer a question, I would give them a candy. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a candy, Shubhraji. Yeah. Come on, tell me who else is belly breathing or who is not belly breathing?
I have lost belly breathing, but if I turn conscious to it, then I start redoing it.
Please do it. Please go back. If necessary, lie down again on your back as shown. Get into that posture. Let your mind become again familiar or remember how things were when you were on your back and when belly breathing was happening. Ji Shama ji.
अभी जो उन्होंने बोला ना कि आई हैड लॉस्ट बट आई अगेन कनेक्टेड, तो कबीर ने बहुत सुंदर बात कही है। कबीर तो
जी
कपड़ा बनाते थे ना,
जी
तो बोले मेरा धागा टूट जाता है तो मैं फिर से जोड़ लेता हूँ,
very
सो
good
इट
very good
कंटिन्यूस।
I think
इन्होंने
most
बहुत
of you can
सुंदर बात कही।
understand. Yeah,
हाँ
I think most of you can understand Hindi. If not, what Shamaji just mentioned was that Kabir, he was a great poet, saint, etc. And he was a weaver. He was a weaver. That means, he used to weave thread, clothes, etc. Thread. So when he was weaving, and if a thread would break, he would join it again. So she is commenting on Karthik ji is saying, comment that he had lost his belly breathing, but when he brought his attention back to it, he was able to start again. So that is what it was about. Very good. Yeah, come on, anyone else? Are you still belly breathing? If not, what must you do? If your belly breathing is not happening, what must you do? Come on, come on. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Come on, everyone, turn on your videos, please, so I can see you and talk to you and get some feedback from you. Please turn on your videos. Is belly breathing happening?
Consciously.
Okay, very good, Sheila.
No, lie down again in the posture and again.
Yes, you may lie down again on your back. Try not to keep anything under your head. Bring your heels back to towards your buttocks. Let your knees point to the ceiling. Hold that posture. Just be like that. Within half a minute, automatically belly breathing begins. Automatically.
It's happening, sir.
Hmm? It's happening. Kamesh ji,
Yes,
very
sir.
good.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. So now remember, belly breathing is not about getting into that posture for belly breathing to happen. Belly breathing is about allowing or creating conditions so that belly breathing becomes your default breath, normal breath. Whenever your attention goes, if belly breathing is happening, give yourself a pat on your back. If not, give yourself a box if you like. No, the idea is to ensure that slowly, little by little, belly breathing becomes your normal breath. Okay, somebody has their hand raised. Oh, it's still Sindhuji. Sindhuji, why don't you?
Sindhu,
All right. So I'll mute everybody once again. Mute everybody. Yeah, when you wish to speak, you may unmute yourselves. So some of you are seeing that belly breathing is happening, but it's not enough for belly breathing to happen for 10 minutes in a day, 20 minutes in a day, because remember, your systems are working 24 hours. If all those systems have to do effectively what they are doing, these systems should be like this for 24 hours or at least close to 24 hours. I can understand if you're out on the street and if there's heavy traffic and you're very relaxed, maybe that's not a great way to be. Your body has a system called the sympathetic nervous system, which is very good. For example, when you're out on the street, somebody suddenly blows the horn, you need to act, you need to react very quickly, jump out of the way. You don't want to get hit. Nobody wants to get hit. And then, recuperate slowly, recover slowly. So it's better to take corrective action, which means during such times, it's good if your sympathetic nervous system is acting. So what happens when your sympathetic nervous system is happening? The resources of the body are channeled towards your limbs and your head, more particularly to the head, because you need to act, you need to react, you need to respond, you need to be very alert. To the limbs, largely because your limbs need to take action, either to hit back, fight, or to run away. Yes, Anilji, you have your hand raised. Go on. Anil Arora ji, you'll have to unmute yourself.
मैं कह रहा हूँ सुबह जब मॉर्निंग में एक्सरसाइज कर रहे होते हैं
जी
थोड़ी फास्ट एक्सरसाइज ही करते हैं लेकिन उसमें सिर्फ अपर ब्रीदिंग होती है नीचे तक जाती ही नहीं है
नहीं तो ये ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा आपको. You will have to train yourself. So Anil Arora ji, in case everybody doesn't speak Hindi or enough Hindi, Anil Arora ji is saying when he does his morning exercises, his breathing is shallow. So, the breath goes very, doesn't go very deep. So how should it be? So even in during those times, keep yourself relaxed. Let your breath happen as deep as it normally can happen, which means if you bring your body gradually into the state where belly breathing takes over naturally, regularly, every time you don't need to take a shallow breath, belly breathing happens. What are the times when when your body is happy with a shallow breath? For example, if you're running very fast, or if you're running, your body cannot do belly breathing during those times usually, because you need to hyperventilate, quickly
बिल्कुल
breathe in,
ऐसा ही
quickly. So fine, but if it is a relatively easier breath, it'll go a little deeper than it was going before. And believe me, if you become a very, very deep belly breather, maybe at some point of time you may be able to do various kinds of even heavier exercises with a greater amount of depth to your breathing.
ओके
Naturally. Just
कोई
naturally.
इसमें अलग से ऐसा पोस्चर है जो हम उस समय अडॉप्ट करें जब हम हैवी एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं और हमें ज्यादा सांस चढ़ गया और हम ऐसे ही करते हैं ऐसे इतने यहीं तक ही आती है
हाँ, वो हेवी, जैसे आप लिफ्ट, इफ यू लिफ्टिंग वेट्स,
नो नो
यू
लिफ्टिंग नहीं जस्ट जैसे एरोबिक करते हैं या जो भी फास्ट एक्सरसाइज होते हैं उसके अंदर
then you do one thing. If you do like slow running, for example,
हाँ जी
allow belly breathing to happen a little before you start running.
अच्छा
Don't force it, and see whether that belly breathing makes your breath a little different than it was earlier.
अच्छा ओके
Try to notice that. The reason is, see, what is meant by a shallow breath and what is meant by a deeper breath. In a deeper breath, your lungs can expand towards their maximum capacity.
हाँ जी
In a shallow breath, the lungs are not expanding to their maximum capacity. If your lungs are normally only doing a little bit of, shallow move, then slowly the lungs will lose their elasticity.
ओके
Very often, when we tell people to take a deep breath, they do. This is not a deep breath. This is not a deep breath. A deep breath is a relaxed breath where the breath goes deep, deep into the belly, maybe deeper into the perineum, into the Mooladhara. Why
Yes.
should your belly, why should your breath go to the Mooladhara, towards the Mooladhara? Do you know why? This is counter.
By forcing our diaphragm towards downward.
When your breath goes to the Mooladhara area, to the belly button, to the base, to the what is the term there? Perineum,
Hmm.
the base chakra, that area. That means your body has come to a state of relatively very deep relaxation.
Okay.
Only then will your breath be able to go there. Most people, we've been trained, or we've been made to think according to Western ways of thinking, which is your breath brings in oxygen, which goes into the lungs. It is exchanged for carbon dioxide and it is expelled. This is the understanding of breath for most people who have been trained according to this Western system of body, the physiology, etc., and so on, or medicine, etc., and so on. But in the Eastern understanding, India, China, we don't call this breath. We call this prana. Prana means life force. Life force, the breath contains not only oxygen, it contains a lot more. Remember, there are 50 trillion cells in your body. There are many different organs, but there are 50 estimated 50 trillion cells. Every cell is estimated to have an electrical charge, 0.07 volts. That is how the cells communicate. That is how the cells, you know, send information around the body to the brain, what they need, etc., whether they're feeling well, whether they're not feeling well, etc. If the body is not well, this information needs to reach someone so that corrective action can be taken. If the cells under stress, under some kind of problem, if that message is not conveyed to the brain, then slowly something will begin to die out, or conditions like cancer, etc., may develop. I've read stories about, I've read reports about how a lack of oxygen, there is an optimum amount of oxygen that is required in every cell. If that oxygen level starts falling, then a cell becomes amenable, or the cell might become cancerous. It doesn't say it will become cancerous, but it could head into the direction of becoming cancerous. So having enough flow of oxygen, having your breath flow comfortably throughout the system is so important from all perspectives as far as health and wellness are concerned. Think of belly breathing as your foundation breath. Many of you probably do different kinds of pranayam, like Bhastrika, Anulom Vilom, Kapal Bhati, and so on and so forth. Do you? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Now start combining that with belly breathing.
Okay.
Allow this state and then do your pranayams and see the benefit, see the results you will get. See, unfortunately, this pranayam, most of the pranayam focus tends to be on what type of pranayam to do, but not about how to be, or how your systems should be for that particular practice, which is very important. See, some of you said like you breathe till your ribs, or a little till the belly button or whatever. And Shamaji said her breath goes to the Mooladhara, which is excellent. There are actually many. This is only part of one channel. There are, and I share this in my breathwork techniques, there are at least three channels that you can actually experience within your body. So, pran, in yoga, we speak of 5 koshas or 5 sheets: Annamay, Pranamay, Manomay, Vijnanamay, Anandamay. Most of the time, people's attention is either on their Annamay or on their Manomay kosh, on their physical body or the drama of the mind. There is very little attention given to the prana, to the energy body, because we have not connected with our energy body. But if your energy body, if you connect with your energy body and the systems, the flow of energy throughout your system will become so beautiful. You may actually quickly move away from attention to the physical and mental towards the Vijnanamay Kosh, towards the knowledge body. You may begin to activate your knowledge body much, much more quickly if you start paying more attention to your energy body. And then, of course, learning techniques to conserve your energy, channel the energy in the right direction. You'll see very, very amazing benefits. As your energy begins to activate your Vijnanamay Kosh, in some ways, it is also connected with your Agya. As your Vijnanamay Kosh becomes more and more active, you will begin to automatically understand things, get insights, get clarity about so many different things. Our rishis in the past, we have a huge old tradition of rishis and sadhana and so on. The rishis they were the scientists of that era, and the kind of things they discovered, the depth of their knowledge. I think even today, scientists, with all modern scientists, with all their modern equipment, etc., are only just beginning to see some of what these ancient rishis saw a long time ago. How did they do it? They were accessing their knowledge body. And to access their knowledge body, obviously they had to control their energy body. They had to be in touch with their energy body. And they made sure that their energy was not frittered away, it was not wasted away, it was not leaked away. How do we leak energy? Through negative thinking, for example, through various kinds of activities like too much attention on things of the body, too much attention on things of the mind, and so on and so forth. This energy begins to leak away. And nowadays, everybody has a phone. And on phones, all kinds of good and bad information are available. But the young, especially, tend to move towards the bad information rather than the good information. It's such a rich source of information about so many things. But people go towards the negative kind of information because they are looking for entertainment. And what is entertainment? What is entertainment? Does anybody ever get entertained by entertainment? We spend so much time, effort, money, etc., resources on entertainment. Do we get entertained?
कुछ बोलूं?
जी अवश्य बोलिए जी.
अगर वॉच करें हम लोग तो 3 घंटा पिक्चर देख के आते हैं, तो एक तो उसमें द ऑक्सीजन लेवल बिकम सो लो, एवरीबॉडी इज ब्रीथिंग आउट, एंड नोटिस व्हेन यू कम बैक होम, you came back.
There we go.
Mostly, if you notice, we are tired. उस समय थोड़ा एंजॉय करते हैं, बट माइंड को हम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. वी आर वेस्टिंग आवर माइंड एनर्जी, द ब्रेथ एंड एवरीथिंग. एंड ultimately when we come to our room or bed, we feel so relaxed and good. चाहे कहीं travel करके आए या whatever, just notice.
Have you understood what Shamaji said? She said, like, for example, when we go and watch a movie, we may enjoy parts of the movie or even the whole movie perhaps, but when we come back, we feel what a relief. We're almost overwhelmed, we're almost tired, and most of the time we're actually not even entertained. We don't come back feeling great about things normally. But movie is not the only entertainment. Most of our free time is spent in search of entertainment. But this entertainment never really happens. What is entertained? Your mind may be distracted, but it's not entertained. So if you learn how to value, see this term, this word attention or pay attention. Look at this beautiful phrase, pay attention. When you pay attention to your breath, you are spending your attention on your breath. What does the breath do? The breath rewards you with clarity, with insights, with information, knowledge about your own being. And see, ultimately, life does not happen on the outside. Life is what really happens on the inside. It's about how you feel about different things that are happening to you. It's about how you interpret whatever is happening around you. Life is basically about what you are responding, how you are responding to whatever is happening, maybe on the outside, but the response is internal. So, how do you keep that internal thing in that state of beautiful being where it's not easily disturbed by the drama of the outside world and whatever else happens? So, learning to keep this in that nice equanimous state, that is an important part of even sadhana. And for sadhana also, learning to work with your breath. I think Buddhists have understood this and they created this system of vipassana, or vipassana as we call it now. Vipassana is nothing but breath watching. And to breath watch, the easiest thing is to start with belly breathing. Belly breathe, watch whether it's happening. If it's not happening, remember how to let it happen and let it happen. Let it happen, let it happen, let it happen. All day long, let it happen. When you go to bed, let it happen. When you wake up in the morning, let it happen. Slowly, this state of belly breathing will happen. But belly breathing is only what you are seeing. The real thing is, the real thing that's happening to you is that you are allowing your system to be at ease. When your systems come to be at ease, when your body, your mind, and everything else inside is in that state, most of the time, not only healing happens, but adhyatmic growth also happens, or spiritual growth also happens in states of ease. That's why meditation is so important. What do you do in meditation? You do nothing. In meditation or in a meditative state, you do nothing. You only you are only in a state where you are observant of what is happening inside you, but you're doing nothing. You're only observant. And because you become observant of the games of the mind and the emotions. Now, see, remember, mind is not just thoughts, it's also your emotions. Deep inside, there is always like a constant energy, emotion generator that is generating some emotion in the background, constantly generating some emotion. And this constant generation of emotion affects our mind, it affects our thoughts, pulls us to the past, pulls us to the future. When you start belly breathing, the drama of the mind is controlled by also controlling your emotions. Not getting these emotions to fire up like they normally do. One random thought fires up one emotion fires up a thought, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. Thoughts, emotions, emotions, thoughts, emotions, and people can go all day, in that haze, emotion, thought, emotion, feeling, etc., past, future, hardly in the present, life passing by without their awareness. Instead, if you start breath watching, if you get a hold of your energies, if you use, for example, in sadhana, meditativeness, or in chanting, if you are at ease and if chanting happens in your system, it does magic to your whole system. Whether it's Om Namah Shivaya or just Om or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There are so many beautiful mantras. And mantra, it's about man. It's about controlling the man. It's about settling the man. And man is deeply connected with your emotions. Sanskrit language is supposed to have it has a very rich legacy or basis on which it was created or formed or how it came to be. Different sounds impact different areas of the body, which is why Sanskrit is supposed to be why Sanskrit is considered such a amazing language. But anyway, that's another thing. Belly breathing is our topic of interest at the moment. So as you allow belly breathing, remember the word allow belly breathing. Please don't do belly breathing. Please allow belly breathing. Any questions so far on belly breathing or related topics? Anybody, any question? We'll spend a few minutes looking at some of the questions you may have now or you may have asked earlier. Anybody? Go ahead. Don't be shy about this.
So belly breathing, right now it's happening consciously to me, right? I'm trying to make it conscious, but I think I need to give it time and have patience to have it occur naturally.
Yes. So every time your attention goes to your breath, if belly breathing is happening, like I said earlier, tap yourself if you like on the shoulder. Give yourself a shabashi wala tap, so to speak. No, if belly breathing is happening, very good, thumbs up, wonderful. If not, allow it to happen. Alok Mishra ji, how can belly breathing balance out thyroid dysfunction? All right, very deep question for me because it's not something I've dealt with, but I'm going to reflect upon this, Alok ji. How does belly breathing impact? But one thing is clear: if energy flow is better, if energy is flowing better through your body and also to the thyroid glands, etc., definitely it will impact your thyroid problem and so on. And in yoga and pranayam, there are certain breathwork techniques that are helpful for thyroid, etc. One of them being the uh,
Ujjayi
Ujjayi,
breath.
yeah, the Ujjayi breath. In the Ujjayi breath, intentionally constrict your throat, and just breathe that way. Constrict your throat. I hope Alokji you got that. Alekhya
I think
ji,
Shubhra ji may be knowing a little better. ujjayi कर सकते हैं आप करके दिखाइए ना हम लोग को थोड़ा.
Okay. See, what happens is if you want to know how Ujjayi is done, it's basically very rightly said, it's constriction of the epiglottis. Okay. Now, what you can do is suppose you need to fog your glasses. Okay. How will you do? So that everybody do that and see. Okay. That constriction is what you need to recreate while you have your mouth closed. Okay, so inhale normally, when you exhale is that time you can do initially. But when you get into the practice, okay, of inhalation and exhalation, Ujjayi happens automatically once you start getting into that phase of, inhaling in Ujjayi and exhaling in Ujjayi breath. That is constriction of your epiglottis. So if, by the way, anybody doesn't understand, oh, it's difficult, I can't do it, it's absolutely all right, nothing to worry. You have alternatives to do. You can do it. Inhale, fog it. Imagine there's a glass and you want to fog that glass. So try doing that and then sometimes close your mouth and see whether you can really recreate it. And I think that should help. And in case if you still don't get it, give it some more time. Do it. You will understand. if you consciously look at the breath, that what you are doing while you're fogging, can you really feel some kind of some kind of thing that is happening which you can hear? Second most important thing, ujjayi should not be done excessively. That means you're really inhaling and exhaling, and you're trying to constrict it so much that it irritates your throat. So irritation of the throat doesn't happen. Ujjayi, something that you should hear for yourself, not the other person. You don't have to, like the Ashtangis, when they breathe, it's like a real serpent's breath. It goes. No, we don't want that. If you want to do it for your own body, please do it that you feel it when you are comfortable with your body. Never ever do anything which you don't feel comfortable with. Okay? You need to feel comfortable, and it will start making sense to you when you start doing and practicing it. You will see the benefit.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raji. Alokji, I hope you've got your answer. Alokji?
Yes, sir. I got my answer, sir.
Okay, great. Now the next question was, can we actually belly breathe while having our food? Yes, we can. And there's no reason why belly breathing shouldn't happen then. And the next question is, how can we become more tolerant about situations or people around by using belly breathing? If you are belly breathing, you will automatically be a little more tolerant of situations around you than otherwise. And this question was from, I can't see the name. I can't see the name, but well, whatever, whoever it was. Yeah, Aditya Raneji. Okay, sorry, Aditya Raneji. How can we become more tolerant about situations or people around by using belly breathing? See, when you are belly breathing, you are in a state of ease. So automatically you are a little more tolerant of situations and people around you, even if they are triggering you or, in some way arousing certain emotions within you. I hope that answers your question, Aditya ji. Anyone else? Any other question? Anybody else? So shall I look at one of the questions
Sir, do we
asked
have to
in
do
the
certain type of sir?
Yes,
Do
go
we
ahead.
have to do certain type of meditation to relax our body so that our breath can go deeper to the Mooladhara?
I share certain techniques to do that, but in fact, Shamaji has also learned it perhaps in one of my earlier sessions, but I don't know. Maybe she's learned it on her own. Anyway, there are certain programs where I teach how to take your breath there. I would have loved to do it now and here, but it takes a little time. Our focus is going to be on belly breathing first and on Hanuman master breath. If you continue to belly breathe over the next few days, our next session is going to be on Sunday next week, which is 18th, when I hope to be able to show you and get you started with the Hanuman master breath, which on its own is a very powerful technique and helps to heal many different conditions, ailments, illnesses, and so on. And it'll take a little time. You'll need to practice a little. But if you begin to understand it and use it, I've been writing about it. You may have read some of my pieces on this, how it has helped me overcome conditions like fibromyalgia, sciatica, piles, indigestion, of course, and numerous other conditions. Recently, even a bit of a tumor on my jaw and swelling in certain parts of the body. It's a very powerful technique. It's a very, very powerful breath, so to speak, but you have to learn it. You have to learn it and you have to allow it to become a part of your system.
Rajesh, he has
Ji.
taught me. He made me aware of the Mooladhara place, and then he kept telling me to feel it, and gradually it starts happening.
Ji.
You
Right.
couldn't hear?
Anybody couldn't hear? Who couldn't hear? Shamaji?
I thought you were saying something, I thought मेरी
No, no,
आवाज
no,
नहीं आ
no,
रही है.
no, no, no.
Okay. No, it's
There's
fine.
some reason I was trying to belly breathe and had to fighting though some tension in my okay, tense abdominal muscles allowing belly breathing immediately put me into a relaxed state. Okay, very good, excellent. So basically what this person is saying, that there was a little strain or stress in the system, but as he belly breathed, no sound. Somebody saying no sound. Okay, I hope the others can hear me. Yeah, so as the person belly breathed, he was able to overcome this stress. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed some other comments, but don't you get external perspectives from experiences? Aradhana ji to everyone. Don't you get perspectives from experiences you have through external activities? Your question is not very clear. We do get experiences through. Sorry, Aradhana ji, go on.
Yes. So, I mean, my question was when you said about that, you don't get anything from entertainment or when you watch a movie. So my
Okay.
question was more philosophical. So don't you
No.
get perspectives when you do, activities externally, when you meet people? Yeah, it was very general.
Yes. No, I'm sorry if I came across very heavy on entertainment, but the point was, we spend so much time, such a great part of our lives looking for entertainment, but we never really get entertained. Yes, external experiences do bring us certain perspectives, certain understanding, and so on, and they play a role in our lives. So I can't deny that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's a fake dopamine kind of a thing.
It's a dopamine.
Fake dopamine.
Fake dopamine. What is a
Yeah.
fake dopamine?
Artificially, you are forcing your mind or head to produce dopamine from external stimulus.
Oh, acha, when we go
What?
for
And Pawan
entertainment.
ji, मेरे को
Yeah.
सुनाई दिया paid dopamine का. That is also true. We pay for that entertainment. It's fake also.
So
Both.
true.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's paid dopamine also in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Pavanji. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Makes sense. Okay, right. Anybody else? Anything else? So, right. I think because we are a little past our time, if you have anything else, I'll address it quickly. Otherwise, I'll meet you next Sunday, same time. You already have the link. The link will not change. I will, however, send a fresh notification for the next session. But be that as it may, keep the link so that you are able to
You,
come without any
you said
problem.
something about Sunday 8 o'clock.
No, 5 o'clock. Sunday
5
5
o'clock
o'clock.
only,
Same time.
right?
Same time. If there is a change, I'll let you know. But I think it's a good time because it works for people, for most people in India and a lot of people in Europe and America as well. And of course, Far East as well, like Japan and Singapore, etc. Right? Anyone else? Anything else? Shall we wrap up for today? It's on YouTube, so you can take a look and refresh it again. If there's any part of it that you have an interest in, internet connection is unstable. Well, so be it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.